And with me today is Pastor Matt Leroy from Love Chapel Hill. I've been hearing a lot about that church, but I'd like to hear it from the pastor himself. Tell us about it.
All right. Love Chapel Hill is a new church plant in downtown Chapel Hill, North Carolina. I've been meeting for worship for about 2.5 years. And man, it's just a beautiful collision of people from all walks of life, which is really exciting to see. And so we have people that are college students. We have probably about 60% of our congregation is college students right now. And on the other end of the spectrum, probably about 15% of our congregation is homeless men. So we meet on Franklin Street, which is right at the heart of the town, and the university comes up to one side, and just around the corner is the homeless men's shelter, and then several homeless men that live out on the street that are a part of the congregation. And so in the middle of that, we also have a core of young families, young couples that are a part of it as well. And so collision, eclectic, quirky group of people, and just a lot of fun to be a part of it.
So Compassionate Ministries is at the core of what you do?
Absolutely, yeah. So one of the things that drives us is we believe that the most eloquent articulation of the gospel is a love that gives itself away. And we believe that's the pattern of Christ, and we want to walk in that pattern and to be an incarnational expression of the gospel in everything that we do. And so one of the great ways to tell and communicate that compelling story of the gospel is by embracing people where they are and coming to where they are and meeting their needs. And that's one of the great things about the college students that are a part of it. A lot of activist kind of college students who are able to marry that with their faith and realize that this is the God who says, you know, I'm here to bind up the brokenhearted and to bring good news to the poor. And so they really are actively engaged with the community, and their faith is what's driving that. It's not just to be activists, it's because they're Christians and because they love Jesus, and a love for Jesus drives them to love the people around them.
If you were to give some advice to a pastor who is trying to minister to those of 18 to 25 in that area, what advice would you give them?
Here's what I would say. I think that a lot of times we try to create programs that will attract them. And so we build it maybe around personalities, or we build it around styles of worship or things, and we think that's what we have to do to connect with them. And without a doubt, that is attractive, and the church should be attractive for our young people. But there's something deeper than that. I think that to create a sustainable connection to the church wherever they go, it has to be deeper than a personality or a style. It's got to go way deeper than that. And for us, we believe that is to connect them to the DNA of the church, where you find it anywhere in the world, which is to be about mission and discipleship. And if we can instill that DNA in them, help them to be passionate about reaching people who need to hear and experience and see the gospel, and to make disciples, then wherever they go, it won't depend on finding a church that was like theirs. They are carriers of that DNA wherever they go. So I think young people want to be connected to something that's bigger than themselves, connected to something that they know is significant and that's going to matter in the world, and to be a part of a story that matters. And that can happen in absolutely any church and in any context, in any setting.
Yeah, that was my thought when you were talking about that. What about the smaller Wesleyan Church?
Yeah.
Can they be involved in that kind of an outreach?
Absolutely. And I really do think that mission is the thing that will connect with our young people that they want to be a part of, more than being entertained, more than being attracted. They want to be sent. They want to be active and engaged in what's happening, and a church of absolutely any size can do that. So in whatever community that you're in, listen, watch, look around you, ask yourself, how can we communicate the gospel in the heart language and the native language of the people wherever we are? And the young people can really have a role in leading that and in pushing us in that.
What does that look like? What would that ministry look like on the streets?
Yeah. So for us, that looks like with our homeless population, it looks like our college students being the ones that drive us with providing hygiene kits for them, with providing warm clothing in the winter, things like that, embracing them. And it really does depend. That's the beautiful thing about it, is the answer to that question is just so wide open, because it depends on wherever you are. So if you're in a rural setting, you're not going to have homeless people right outside the door of your church. But there's other ways to watch, to listen, and to see where God is already at work, and to join him in that work. So it really involves listening, learning the language of the people around you, and how does the gospel connect where they are in the language that they know the best.
That's great. Well, thank you, and God bless your ministry.
Thanks. Appreciate it.